Welcome to On the Set. I'm Jeannie. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be in a pageant? Have you ever wondered what it was like for somebody who is Miss Massachusetts, Mrs. Massachusetts? There's lots of different titles. Have you ever wondered? Well, today we're going to answer all your questions, and hopefully you may even want to consider it. So I'd like you to welcome my first guest, Jane Marshall. She was Mrs. Massachusetts 2010. Welcome to On the Set, Jane.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. You have some beautiful, very beautiful things here to show us. This is your ribbon.
My banner,
your
yes.
banner. And so you're not wearing that today, but do you use it when you go and when you were doing things?
Yes,
for charities and events.
I absolutely did. I was Mrs. Massachusetts International 2010, so I had an incredible year. And this is a representation of the title, and I would wear it wherever I could, to my public appearances, to my charity events. It definitely gave me the opportunity to have a microphone, having the title to be able to talk about my platform as well as bring awareness to other platforms for other people.
And now you have something else to show us. A beautiful
and this is a beautiful crown that I was awarded as well with the title. So it was a lot of fun to be able to wear this. The little girls would love to try it on. So it's definitely a nice trophy to be able to have and all the memories that it holds with it.
And you get to keep your crown?
I do.
So is it diamonds?
No, it's
No,
not.
okay.
It is Swarovski crystals and rhinestones. So it definitely has a special place in my heart.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So tell us about the doors. I mean, I understand that being Mrs. Massachusetts opened so many doors, but I also think that after speaking with you before the show started, that it also opened your heart and healed some very serious wounds for you. So what kind of doors did it open?
Well, I was a pageant contestant back in my teens and my Miss years. It seems like many years ago now. It was something that my mom and I used as time to spend together. It was a hobby of mine. She used to help me get ready. She was my biggest cheerleader. And in 2007, I lost my mom to breast cancer. And after that, I got married, I became a mom myself, and I decided that I wanted to get back into pageantry as a way to get back into shape, first of all, after having my daughter. So I competed my first Mrs. pageant in 2008, 8 weeks after my daughter was born. So that was a great experience and gave me a lot of confidence. But even though I didn't win that pageant, it gave me the opportunity to realize that I could possibly do something more by having a title, and that was to spread the awareness of breast cancer awareness and the importance of early detection, and to share my mom's story, because I think losing her to breast cancer and sharing her story could help a lot of people out there.
What kind of charities did you do?
I did so much work. I was able to work with Lowell General Hospital. The year that my daughter was born, I participated in their Lowell General Hospital Team Walk for Cancer Care. So the following year, when I had the title, I reached out to them and I said I wanted to volunteer with them. And that email led to me being chosen as the honorary chairperson of their Team Walk for Cancer Care. So I was able to raise funds, awareness, go out with the hospital staff, work with the cancer patients who are being treated at Lowell General Hospital, and just being aware of what the hospital does for the patients from the Merrimack Valley area.
Well, some of the pictures that I've seen of yours really touched my heart. I mean, each one of them must have a story. There's a little girl, I think, that we're posting that, you know, actually lost, she was a gymnast, and she lost all of her limbs. And tell me about that.
You're speaking about Bella Tucker. She's she's now 9 years old, but she was 8 years old when she got hit by the Streptococcus pneumonia Easter weekend.
Wow.
And that wound up bringing her to the emergency room, and it wasn't sure whether or not she would be alive after that situation. She woke up to facing the fact that she had lost all 4 of her limbs. She was a little girl who loved gymnastics. She loved to swim, be with her friends, her brothers, sisters, and it just gives you an inspiration and hope when you see an 8-year-old girl full of life. And one of the first questions that she asked was whether she would live. And I think hearing that story from her parents firsthand when I visited her at Children's Hospital, and to see the strength and determination that she had.
We take things for granted.
Oh my gosh, it's,
you know, and our kids
fingers,
too.
our hands, being able to walk, you know, all the things that we use our hands for. It's just amazing. And to think that this little girl was a gymnast, and to have those fundamental tools taken away from you. And how do you go on with life after that? I don't think there's a lot of adults that would know how to deal with that. And just to see an 8-year-old have so much strength and determination, it just warms your heart. I was able to watch her do her physical therapy at Children's Hospital with her father and her grandmother and her doctors. And it was just amazing to see how much strength she had. And she said, I will swim again, I will do gymnastics again, and we actually still have a shoe shopping date that we have to go on. But she's just an amazing little girl.
She's teaching people.
She is.
Sounds like, and she's not feeling sorry for herself.
Not at all.
And she's turning her greatest weakness right now into her greatest strength, which she'll probably do more than both of us put together.
Absolutely.
It sounds like determination.
Yeah, I had the chance to visit her before I went out to nationals, and then the weekend after I came back from nationals, I got a chance to visit her at Children's Hospital again. And actually on that visit, I brought my husband with me, and he was just in awe of how strong she was and how much will and determination she had to really get out there and get back to life as a reality. And just to see her family bind against her, it was just amazing. So,
what other journey has this taken you on, being Mrs. Massachusetts?
I had the chance to go to Chicago and compete with 51 other women for the national title of Mrs. International.
Oh, so you're continuing on for other competitions then?
Well, that was the nationals in 2010, and that was just an incredible opportunity because I met so many women from all across the country, as far as Australia and Canada as well, and we just had the week of our lives. I had never been to Chicago, and it was just an amazing experience. I've met a lot of girls who have become like sisters to me. We share a lot of the same experiences. With the Mrs. International program, we had to have our platforms, and mine was breast cancer awareness and the importance of early detection. On top of the platform of the national pageant was the Go Red for Women Foundation with the American Heart Association.
Okay.
So we got to share our stories, and we got to know a lot about one another. There was a lot of women who had gone through the same things that I did, losing a parent. There were some people who had lost children. There were some people who had been diagnosed with cancers or other diseases themselves. So we really got to share in our experiences. So that was one of the biggest roads that this opportunity led me to.
Let's talk about the stereotype, because people feel that there's beauty involved and competition about beauty, and that perhaps being in a pageant you're vain more, but it's none of that. It's hard work. It's hard work. You're competing. There's a health benefit to it, where you said that you wanted to get fit.
Yes.
There's always that swimsuit competition in some of the pageants, correct?
Yep, in my pageant, the Mrs. International pageant, there was a fitness portion. So we got to make a choice of either a one-piece or a two-piece aerobic gear with low white sneakers. So there wasn't that swimsuit competition, but there are other competitions that are swimsuit competition. But one or the other, it's still regarding your body, regarding health and fitness.
And confidence, too.
Absolutely.
It's helping not, in a vain way, but in a confident, and girls need that. They need to feel confident, but using it for the better, for being, good, for helping with events and charity and fundraisers and things like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have to be intelligent and fit.
You do, because you get put out there into situations where you're asked your opinion, you're asked about your platform, so it's not something that you can just enter into and not know what you're talking about, especially if you are representing a platform. And I just learned so much about even different charitable organizations. I'd never known about the Go Red for Women program, which heart disease is one of the largest killers of women across the world. So to be educated about that and things that we can do in our lives to eat healthy, to work out, to get exercises into our lifestyle, because that's so important to be able to combat those issues. With cancer awareness and, meeting people like Bella, I never knew that a Streptococcus pneumonia could affect a child so much. I've met so many people who have had so many disabilities and disadvantages, and to learn about that and having the social media network and to be able to post those situations that I was in, meeting those people, it brings more awareness to those causes, which was incredible for me, because all of a sudden I would hear from people that I knew in my past, either I went to school with or I competed with earlier, I know somebody who has that. So it was a really great opportunity to learn that there's so many people who are affected by so many different things that we're not even aware of.
Jane, what is your viewpoint on children being in pageants? And, there's a lot of controversy about that. What is your viewpoint?
I personally don't like the glitzy pageants. I think that children should really look like children. I have a 2.5-year-old at home, and I absolutely adore the way that she looks right now. And seeing how she's changed over 2 years is absolutely incredible to me. And I don't want to speed up that process any more than I have to, because life in general speeds the growing up process, and they change every single day. I don't believe that a child should get spray tanned or should get fake nails or have what they call flippers put into their mouth and have hair extensions put in.
What is a flipper?
Flippers are basically
must be out of it.
They're fake teeth to fill in the gaps of children losing their teeth or their baby teeth. So yeah, and they cost, I think, like $200, $300 for a pair.
Wow. So the moms usually are very involved.
They are.
They're even making reality shows about it.
They are. There is a show called Toddlers and Tiaras, and it's so funny because a lot of people ask me, is your little girl going to get involved in pageants? And, you know, if down the road she wants to, absolutely. It's a great avenue to learn how to interview, teach social development, be able to speak in front of people, share your platform of talent if you have a talent. But I don't want her to get involved until she understands what it's all about. You know, and I love her being a child, but what's right for one person may not be right for another person. So it's a choice, and if people want to do that, then that's great. But my choice is for my little girl to look like a little girl. And there are natural children's pageants where they require that there's no makeup. There's a great New England system, the Kudo pageants, where they do actually have natural children's divisions. So I think that's fabulous, because kids should be kids.
I hope all of our viewers heard that loud and clear. You know, we should probably have more of that, you know, more involvement in that, because it's like a talent show, but, you know, but it's, what do I want to say, competition, it's created more, you know, it's like structured. That's the word I'm trying to
mean, pageantry in a form is kind of like a sport, you know, and kids get involved in sports in an early age to excel in their talents. And the great thing about pageantry is that they have talent portions, whether a child plays piano, can sing or dance, you know, you can definitely get them involved. And how much you want to get them involved and how much do you want to change their appearance, that's your choice. But there are the natural pageants and there are the glitz pageants. So it's a choice for everybody. And they do the same thing for the teen girls and even up to the Miss girls. So
if I was a fly on the wall, okay, and you're going through the process, so you're in a pageant, tell me about that. You're sent to a location, and then what happens?
As far as the general competition or preparing?
Everything. You're in a hotel, right, and your hours are grueling, or what does that
They are. When you go to a national pageant, you are basically getting up first thing in the morning, you go down and fuel yourself up with breakfast, a lot of healthy things, and then you are either going on personal appearances with all the rest of the contestants through the host city. You then go to...
And they watch you?
Oh, absolutely. We have chaperones. Even at the Mrs. level, we had our chaperones, because there could be something that happens to a girl. When we're in Chicago, it was extremely warm, so we had to reach out and say, you know, we're feeling dehydrated, we're feeling tired, we need some shelter, we need some water, things like that.
And you're also being judged at that point when you're out on...
No, we were not being judged at that point. That's just, you know, basically touring around the city, doing some publicity work for the city, doing publicity work for the pageant itself, making people aware that we're there, that competition was going on. We would then go to rehearsals. The rehearsals took up so much of our day, but you want to perfect the production number, you know, and a lot of us, myself included, weren't dancers, so we needed to do a lot of run-throughs, but it really is a lot of fun.
I see. Is it televised as well?
The national pageant was not televised, but they do have DVDs that you can purchase on the website.
And they have an audience there
Absolutely. Too. We probably had about 150 people there in the audience, so you're in a large auditorium style setting on a large stage with lighting and everything, so it's definitely a huge production.
All right, now this is a big question. I really want to know. What was it like when you heard your name that you won?
I actually when I won the Mrs. Massachusetts title, we don't have a state director, so I had to interview for the pageant, which took about 3 months for me to find out. And it was just as exciting to interview and be chosen, because I knew that even though I wasn't competing live on stage, that what I had to say was really important. And it was like, oh my gosh, and to get that crown and banner was incredible. When I competed in the Miss division many years ago, I did win the title of Miss Massachusetts Venus USA, and it's a feeling like no other. Because you know that all your hard work,
cry and they'll go, ah, and they scream.
And that is,
what was it like for you?
It was incredible, because I remember my heart pounding. You know, you stand there and you're holding hands with the other girl, and you know, a lot of people watch on TV and they think, ah, those emotions aren't real. But it really is, because when you've worked that hard to get to that point and you're down to that final 2, or you're chosen as that winner, you know that all your hard work's paid off, and you just can't. I remember looking out to my mom and being like, oh my God, we did it.
We did it.
Yeah.
Yes, your team.
She was my champion. So.
And when you're in a pageant, you're also making friends, even though you're competing with them.
Yes.
So are they still your friends?
Absolutely, and Facebook has been an incredible way for us to keep in touch. I am really good friends with Mrs. Iowa, with Mrs. Tennessee, with Mrs. Florida. Tennessee and Florida just competed a week ago in the same pageant that we competed a year ago, and they placed in the top 5. And we are all on our computers. We're Facebooking back and forth and cheering each other on. They are like sisters, you know. And there's a couple of us who were only children, so we could really relate to one another and say, you know, we are sisters. Even though we don't see each other every single day, talk every single day, we think of each other often, especially when things come up in our life. So I have over 50 sisters right now, and it's great.
I know some people have made huge public mistakes, and is that something that you're always aware of? You know, making sure you do everything right. Is that something that other girls are aware of? Or?
As an adult, I think, you know, you have a different perspective on life, and, you know, growing up and in different situations, you're more aware of knowing that you have to lead your life in a certain way, because you never know what's going to come back and haunt you. And I've met a lot of girls, and when you look at their Facebook profiles, you see some inappropriate pictures, and I try to guide them and tell them, you know what, those are things that you might not want to post, because down the road, whether you're going for a job interview or, you know, your parents or family members may see that, it's something that you never want to be embarrassed for.
I always, a saying that I really like is, live your life as if everything will eventually be known. Because one day it could be.
Absolutely.
So that's a good way, you know, good practice to, you know, we all have secrets, but, you know, just in case, you know, just live your life.
We're not perfect, and everybody's going to make a mistake, but just try to be cautious of what gets out there, because you never know when somebody may misuse information that you put out there or pictures. So, you know, just be careful, and especially with underage drinking and things like that, you know, I try to tell the girls, just be really careful with what you do and what you're posting.
You would be a great mentor then. Is that what you're doing also for other girls?
I try to be. I think, you know, being a mom, it's, you know, I'm trying to teach my daughter, but I also learn from the teen girls. I had a great opportunity to become a sponsor for one of my newfound daughters, basically, in pageantry for her confirmation, and that said a lot to me, because she chose me to share in her special day, and it was such an honor to get that. So I'd like to look at myself as being a role model, but I also learn from them, because that's going to be my daughter someday. So
that's right. We're going to talk about some of the pictures that you gave us. Let's see, we're going to look at a picture right now. That picture right there with your banner.
Yep, that was shortly after I won, and that's a very proud moment, because wearing that, it represents my life, and it also represents the story of my mom and the journey of why I took this journey. You know, sharing her story and breast cancer awareness, it just opened so many doors for me to reach out to people and, you know, talk about how important it is to take care of ourselves. So that's a very important picture to me.
Wow, was your mother in a pageant before?
No, she never was. I actually got encouraged to enter into pageant when I was in my high school years. I was kind of tall, kind of awkward, never knew anything about makeup, about fashion or anything like that, so people said you should get into modeling because of your height, and that's how I got involved in pageantry.
I'm more the squished version. So we all want to be tall. But we have another picture that I'd like to look at. Is that with your mom?
No, that is actually the woman who was the honorary survivor for the Lowell General Hospital Team Walk for Cancer Care.
Okay.
We shared our year together representing the Team Walk, and Beverly Siebert is just an unbelievable woman, and she's actually gone through so many cancer-related issues in her life. She's lost a brother, she's lost a granddaughter, she's lost a daughter. So to be able to share that year, we really bonded immediately because I had lost my mom and she had lost so much due to cancer as well. And she's also a cancer survivor, so her story hit home very much, and she's a very special lady to me.
Wow. We have another picture. We have a few pictures. Oh, that's a fun picture.
That was a bridal show that I did with some of my sister queens from a different system, Irene Races Alton and Wendy Jack. And
you're like the Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, that's what we were doing. It was after the bridal fashion show, and Irene was Mrs. New Hampshire, America, United States, and Wendy was Mrs. Massachusetts, United States. Wendy and I had actually competed together. That was a pageant that I did 8 weeks after my daughter was born. So it was a lot of fun to be able to share a year together and do the things that we did and have fun events like that, a bridal show. We all got to get married again and not have to go through all the logistics. So.
Oh yeah, that's what it looked like. And let's see another picture.
That's
the girl.
That is my love, Bella Tucker.
Bella.
She is just, I have not enough words to describe her and the inspiration that she's had in my life, and I know that she's touched so many with all the fundraisers that we've done, and just being able to get to know her and her family. And I know with her family support, she's just going to be able to get through anything, and she's going to achieve great things in life. She's just absolutely amazing.
I have a feeling she's helped you, that she's taught you something.
She has. You know, it's don't take the little things for granted, and when you go through tough situations, reach out and get the support that you need, and just stay strong and believe that you can, because so many times when you go through difficult situations, you don't think you can. You don't see that line at the end of the tunnel. You know, you don't see that you can get through these tough things. And
just think of Bella.
Absolutely.
Our little Bella. So we have one more, and that looks like you're in a parade.
That was the 4th of July parade in Chelmsford, my hometown, and that was actually my niece Kayla, and it was great to be able to share that with her. We had a lot of fun. It was a very hot day, but I got to meet so many people in my town. People who I actually graduated high school with were sending me emails on Facebook saying, we saw you in the parade. So it's pretty cool. It was a great experience.
That is good.
And there was a lot of people that didn't even know that I was Mrs. Massachusetts in my community, my neighbors and things like that. So it was kind of cool to...
You'll be a hit at your next reunion, you know, your high school reunion.
I know.
So where do you see yourself going from here?
I plan on trying to compete for another Mrs. Massachusetts title in April. I'm working hard to get ready for that, back into a little bit better shape. I do that for myself, for my daughter, for my family. And I don't think that my job is done with the awareness factor that I want to put out there. There's still so many organizations that I want to work with and continue to support and talk about. So I think it would be great to have that microphone again, but regardless of whether or not I have the title, I've had the opportunity, but I'll continue to do the things within the community that I've already done, and the friendships and the people that I have as contacts. It's just amazing. So it doesn't matter to have the crown or to not have the crown. It's opened up so many doors that have changed my life.
When is your book coming out?
My book?
It sounds like you need one. You need to write one, definitely.
It was great because I had a chance to write my adventures into a blog that I created, and it was great because I had so many followers of it, and it was a lot of fun to be able to document and then to look back on it and remember those times, because life goes by so quickly, and to have a year to do something like this, it just flew by, and there's things that you don't remember, and you get to read that back to yourself and say, oh my gosh, that's who I did that with, that's what I did, those are the people that I met, and to see the pictures, it's just amazing. So,
is there any money, any compensation involved in being Mrs. Massachusetts?
There are some prizes that you get. There's not a whole lot of money, and that's not what it's all about for me. For me, it was a door that was opened. I got to walk through it. It got to help me to heal from losing my mom and being able to talk about her. When I started, it was very difficult to share her story. So for me, it's not about monetary compensation, it's about the rewards that I got out of it, and to get the self-esteem and to be able to share my life, myself with others, and hopefully help out in many ways has been the most rewarding aspect of it.
What does your daughter think of all of that?
I don't know. She's 2.5,
She's 2,
so
yeah.
I think she was pretty young to try to understand what was going on, but I was able
now
to bring
does she
her.
a little bit?
She likes the jewelry. She likes the dresses. I remember there was a dress that I tried on that I was going to wear to a pageant, and I came down the stairs and she was like, oh, "Mommy, dress!" And that was such a great experience for me because I remember I was like, "Wow, she really likes the dress." But she got to meet a lot of people with me, and I have a lot of pictures included.
What a great experience for her, really.
Yeah, there. You know, my scrapbook includes her, and down the road, I'm going to be able to show her. You know, this is what you started doing. You started getting involved in the community at a very young age, and that's what I hope to instill in her. That volunteering and being involved in community is so important, and we all have our challenges. You know, not everybody looks the same. Not everybody goes to the same background, but we have to treat each other as equals, and we have to try to help each other out. And to instill that in her in a young age is very important to me.
As a parent myself, I want my kids to be proud of their mother.
Yes.
So just as we are so proud of them, you know, it goes both ways. And that, I can imagine how proud she's going to be of you.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I hope that I open up doors for her and make her understand what life is really all about, because I think too many times we get lost in everyday life, and it's the little things that really make a difference and help, and I hope that I can make her proud.
Very good. You have quite amazing stories.
Thank you.
Before we wrap up our show, is there anything else, any message that you'd like to let our viewers know about?
I think the biggest message is for people to be themselves and to go after their dreams, because life is short. We're here for a visit, and I think you never want to have regrets in life. If there's something that you want to do, go after that. Make your dreams come true. Always be positive about life and try to live it to the fullest, because that's what it's all about.
Well, that is incredible advice, and I really believe in that as well, because you know, anything could happen tomorrow.
Yes.
But you have touched so many hearts, and you've accomplished what you're here to accomplish. We can't all be interested in the same thing. We can't all be interested in pageants or soccer or baseball, but we have to, as you said, follow our dreams and live life to its fullest, definitely.
Absolutely.
So we really have enjoyed having you on
Thank
the
you so
set,
much.
and I hope that all of our viewers enjoyed today's show. And I would like to say it's a wrap.